Because I really think it's important for kids to be heard and their experiences validated, as well as, normalizing ADHD in your home, being able to discuss it and giving your child the support, they need. Hello, Truth Tellers. Welcome back to the ADHD Scapegoat Podcast. I'm Angie, and today I have a very special guest with me, my son Wyatt. And today we're recording early, but today when this airs, it'll be your 11th birthday.
Yeah.
How about that? Wowee. May is when you were born. May is when me and Dad became parents. So the reason I wanted, and I asked Wyatt to have a conversation, because I really think it's important for kids to be heard and their experiences validated, and as well as, normalizing ADHD in your home, being able to discuss it and giving your child the support, they need. And I want to acknowledge how brave you are for being here and doing this. You're brave every day, but, doing this too. So Thank you. So what we're going to do is kind of go through, I'll ask Wyatt just some questions and he'll give me his answers. All right? You ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we want to understand ADHD from his perspective as a now 11-year-old, right? So how would you describe ADHD in your own words?
I would describe it like fun, but also kind of making me angry sometimes.
Yeah.
Makes me hard to do some things, but easy to do a lot of things. Like, it's easy for me to do math. I'm very creative, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a brain difference, right?
Yeah.
Your brain just works different. So what's the hardest part about having ADHD?
Hardest part is probably my memory.
Yeah.
Because my memory, whenever I have something to remember, like a week later we have something to do with it, and then I just can't remember it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't, right now I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast 2 mornings ago. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast 2 mornings ago.
Yeah.
That's how bad my memory
And
is.
that comes into play a lot when you're doing your reading comprehension stuff, right? Your memory, if you're reading a really long passage, I remember dealing with that too, where I'm reading a really long passage and then it asks me a question at the end, but that question was from 2 pages ago.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of other things I read after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So working memory is, I agree. I think that is one of the hardest parts for me too. So what's something about ADHD that you wish people understood better?
That it's harder for us to focus on things because we have a bunch of thoughts going through our minds every second, every minute.
Right.
And it's just hard for us to focus.
Yeah. And we can focus on stuff we're really interested in, but what happens when something's really boring?
We just want to do something else.
Yeah. It's no, I can't do this thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of a fun extra question for this, but if ADHD had a superpower, what would it be?
Being creative.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, and just having, making everything fun.
Right.
Reading problem, fun. Something super boring.
Like a chore.
Fun.
Like a chore, right?
Yeah.
Making it fun. Making it into something that you'd actually enjoy and you can do. I love that. All right, this section of questions is going to be about school and emotions, friendships, relationships. Yeah. Okay. So what's school like for you? What's your favorite class maybe?
Math. My favorite class is math.
Yeah.
It's always come really easy to me. every once in a while there'll be a problem that gets a little hard, but usually it's pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, math was like my go-to as well. Because probably when it came to the reading comprehension stuff,
Yeah.
I would much rather.
My least favorite subject probably has to be the reading and writing.
Right.
I do not like those.
Just
so it's
'cause-
my least. Well, writing's like my least favorite part of the school day.
So what do you think that is when, because you have so many creative ideas,
Yeah.
is it just the time it takes to write stuff down or to
It's just,
decide on an idea?
Yeah,
Or?
it takes time. Like, in my class, we only have 30 minutes to write in. And some days we have to, like, finish a project, and some people could be behind. And then if you don't get it done, like, you miss recess.
Ah,
And it's not fun that way.
right. You need recess.
Yeah.
You need to move. Yeah. Yeah, so you try to just get down, like, the first idea and you try to
Yeah.
not let all of the ideas come in.
Yeah.
I know. Sometimes it's hard to pick the best one, right?
Yeah.
So what helps you stay organized while you're at school and like be able to remember things?
In my class, we have a little schedule on a whiteboard.
Right.
And that always helps me know when I'm doing this or what I have to do at that time. And yeah, it makes it pretty easy for me.
Nice. Yeah, your teacher's really good about that.
Yeah.
And I know you have an agenda, but
Yeah,
That's-
I usually don't look at
it's just for homework, right?
Yeah, it's just to write down stuff. I usually never use my agenda anymore. I just have to write, like, I have to write it down.
Because you're just used to your routine, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm, like, used to it. I've been doing it for 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So what makes you feel, or do you, well, you said you kind of get frustrated sometimes on math problems,
Yeah.
but when you feel overwhelmed or frustrated, what does that look like?
I just get pretty angry.
Yeah?
Like, I could get stressed out about, like, something I have to do or something I have to finish, but I can't finish it on time because I don't have enough done.
Right.
And that makes me frustrated and stressed out, and I have to try to get it done really quick. And that just makes me stressed, and then that's all I can think about.
Right, right. And do you think sometimes you get distracted so that takes away from your time, or do you think it's more of like stuff sometimes just takes you a little bit longer?
Kind of both.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like I get distracted a lot.
By what? Noises or?
Just like the thoughts that I have in my brain.
Yeah.
I just have a ton of thoughts in my mind, and like I'm like in school, I'll be thinking about what I'm gonna do when I get home after school.
Right.
Like what I'm gonna do. I'm like I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that, or no, I'm gonna do this and that, and then this, and I just don't really feel like doing some work.
Maybe that whatever you're working on isn't super interesting in that moment,
it's
so you
usually-
start wandering.
It's
Yeah.
usually writing that.
Yeah.
Almost every time, right? Except for when we do infographics. Those are kind of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because those are a little more
Yeah, you get to like make it picture-y.
art
Except
inspired.
we have to get all the facts and
So there's fun mixed in.
information. Yeah, the fun is like drawing and coloring, but then the boring part is having to get all the information. That's the part I don't like about writing.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like writing at all. Except that every writing piece has to have some sort of information.
Right. Right.
So that's the hard part.
Do you get distracted by other people making noise or
Sometimes.
sometimes?
Sometimes I distract myself by making noise.
Oh, really?
Um,
What's that look like?
I don't really know. I feel like it doesn't happen that often.
Okay.
I can just distract myself by thinking about other things
Right.
than the writing stuff.
Now, do you ever use your like what you have in your hand right now, the Neato like fidgets anymore, or?
Not really, no. I think I just keep them at home.
But you're allowed to. So you have 504 accommodations in your
Yes.
class, so you're allowed to stand and move, and your teacher has like some different chairs,
wobble
right?
stools.
Wobble
We
stools.
might have to get one of those.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
pretty
we need
awesome.
to get like.
Maybe have one at home.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then I could just sit down. That would make me want having the wobble stools makes me want to sit down.
Really?
Yeah, because I can be able to move while I'm sitting down, and since it's flat, you can spin on them. And that's always what I like to do. But I'm usually not allowed to.
Right.
So I always try to do it. And
But it gives you like a little bit of movement that helps you focus, huh?
Yeah, that helps me focus. And I would do a lot of stuff sitting down that way.
Yeah. Because that's why we don't make you guys sit down at dinner, or like you guys can move around or, graze or whatever.
Yeah, but
so you don't.
Wobble stools are probably about as tall as this chair.
Yeah.
But they're kind of small.
And then you just kind of have to balance on them, right?
Yeah, I like we have 2 colors. We have black ones and blue ones. Blue ones have flat bottoms.
Okay.
And they like curve up a little bit. And there's the base of it, and then the seat. Mm-hmm. Those ones are easier to fall off of if you tip too much. But then the black wobble stools, they have like a, kind of like how a circle is, and then it like around a little bit. Mm-hmm. Kind of like...
It's got more of a base?
Yeah, more of a harder base.
Okay.
And those ones are easier. Those ones are harder to fall off of. I still fall off of them, though. Quite a lot. Quite a lot. I've fallen off of those a ton this year. No, and I still try to get a black wobble stool every day.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't remember the last day I hadn't gotten one.
That is so funny.
Months.
Okay, what's one thing that helps you calm down and feel better when you're frustrated? What's something you
thinking
do?
about happy thoughts, like doing other stuff, like just making myself laugh, like me and my friends making each other laugh.
Okay.
Doing stuff like that.
Okay. So let's move on to a couple strengths and self-awareness questions. So what are you really good at because of your ADHD, do you think?
Being creative, and I also think math still.
Yeah.
Like math is also something I'm really good at. Like thinking of strategies for stuff is also something I'm really good at.
Yeah.
Sometimes those strategies backfire on certain things.
But that's how you learn, right?
Think of another plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. How has your understanding of your ADHD helped you?
It's helped me know like what I need to do in this time or when I need to do it.
Yeah. And you're aware of you're really good about your sleep and being aware of how much sleep you're getting.
I don't get the best sleep.
No.
I haven't gotten good sleep in
ADHDers don't get great
months.
sleep, do
Yeah,
we?
because our brains are running no matter what. Even normal brains are. Like, they have to work. Normal brains also have to work during the night, like, to get memories out or keep some. ADHD brains do that, but plus a million thoughts that we still have running through our heads.
Right, it's really hard to calm down.
Yeah, so that's why. And I have the same bedtime routine every night, and my body just knows that, so I wake up at around the same time about every day.
Yeah.
And then once I finally wake up like an hour or two ahead of what I normally do, then after a couple of days, my body goes back to the normal time when I wake up.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to sleep, but it's good that you're aware, like, when you don't get good sleep, you are like, yeah, I need to really be patient with myself today, right? Like, don't we talk about that if you wake up and you didn't get enough sleep and you're already like, ugh, I'm annoyed by everything today.
Yeah, and
we all feel that.
I always have, like, it always takes, like, when I wake up at, like, 4:50 usually, like before 5, I always have to, I always have to wait, like, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes until my eyes fully wake up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. So what's one thing you're really proud of about your ADHD?
What's one thing I'm really proud of? I am very proud of my skills at being creative.
Yeah?
Yeah, I always think of ideas. I always try to get stuff done, or one thing I'm very good at is also procrastinating. I always,
Yeah.
like, we're supposed to do our homework after school, but I have to wait till the next morning to do it.
Yeah, but
And then
we've
I have,
talked
like,
about that, though.
Sometimes I just wait an extra 20 minutes, and then I have to rush, and I'm just nervous, and then
But what do we talk about? If your schedule starts, getting busier and we need to kind of plan ahead. What's going to work better? It's fine at the end of the day if you're, I've had a long day. I'm going to wait and do my homework in the morning if you have enough time to do it in the morning, right?
Yeah.
But you're also really good about doing, like the days that you have art club in the morning and drama club after school,
Yes.
you get your reading done at night, right?
Yeah.
You've done that. And then one thing we talked about before we started our interview, the other day, was it yesterday that we went over the questions really quick?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday or was it the day? I don't even remember anymore.
It was yesterday.
Again, is something that you're really proud of yourself is advocating for yourself and others. That's your justice sensitivity is really high, and you've always kind of had that in you, like right from wrong, and how people are treating other people is really important to you.
Yeah, whenever I see something going on, like a fight, I always get myself involved in it, even though I'm not supposed to be involved in it. Like, I'll get yelled at in school for being involved in a fight, and even though I'm told that I'm not supposed to be involved in them, I still get involved in them because I'm trying to break them up, or I try to fight for one side that I know is a good person. And then it still gets me ending up getting in trouble.
Sometimes, yeah. And then there's sometimes where your teachers recognize the things you're doing where you don't even need to say anything. Like if a friend is being, picked on, I remember that example. A friend was being picked on because they got something all over their face. Some other kids were making jokes, and you immediately got up, and what'd you do? You went over and got paper towels and helping him clean off his face, and you didn't participate in picking on him, or you didn't even you wouldn't even think to do that, right? Yeah. I think that's a very admirable quality. Like, we want to stay out of stuff that we don't need to get involved in, but it's hard when you see someone being mistreated, right? I know.
It is.
I get that too. So what's one thing you wish your teachers knew? The ones that don't really know.
It's hard for ADHD brains to focus. Mm-hmm. We can't focus on anything unless it's something we like. We really can't focus on it. Like, when I'm at writing, I usually don't like writing, and when it's a thing in writing that I don't like, I just can't focus. I just have to think about other stuff.
Well, and what's another thing that teachers could do? Repeat, instructions, and make sure we're giving reminders. That's super helpful, right? And I think that's helpful for everyone. Yeah. Everyone in the class. What's one thing you wish other parents knew about kids with ADHD?
I wish other parents knew that it's harder for them to listen. It's harder for us to listen to certain things when we're really focusing on something else.
Right.
Sometimes the words just get tuned out, and then they start yelling at us, and then that's when we hear.
But you're not trying to not listen. You're just something else came into your space, right?
Yeah.
Right. And that's why we give multiple reminders, or, we touch your shoulder, make sure you hear, What advice would you give to another kid who feels like they're struggling with ADHD?
Be yourself. Do what you do. Do what you need to do. Ask for help if you need it. Right. Be creative and just go with the flow. Do what you do.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
I almost started singing that Bluey song.
Yeah. We love Bluey. When was the last time an episode came out? 3 months, 4, 5 months
New
ago?
episodes? Yeah, I don't know.
5 months ago.
So, do you want to do some rapid fire questions?
Yeah.
A couple? Okay.
Heck yeah.
So, first I want to tell you thank you for coming on and doing this.
Welcome.
I know you're not shy, but you are
Yeah.
kind of shy.
I do have stage fright.
Except
Kind of a bad thing.
you don't. Here's the thing. I think you're just like, oh, this is the big stage because he's in drama club and he has a lead role. Well,
by the time this podcast comes out, play will be over.
Yeah. Do you want to say what it is?
My musical is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's Willy Wonka Kids. I got Willy Wonka, surprisingly.
Or not surprisingly. That's the one you said you were going to audition for.
Yeah. And I just I have a ton of lines to memorize. I have a lot of them memorized. Some I still have to work on a little bit. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
He's just you're very confident. You're cautious, but you work really hard.
Yeah.
And it really interests you, and you had so much fun during the play last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, all right, let's do some rapid fire questions.
All right.
And then we'll wrap it up, okay? What's the silliest word you can think of? That's a random one.
Gooey goggle. I don't know.
If you could create a new holiday, what would it be?
Lego Day.
Lego Day?
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We can only do Legos.
Yeah. We could see. Maybe there is like a Lego Day.
Yeah.
We could
Everything
celebrate
has to be Lego.
everything.
Have to build a whole house out of Lego.
If you had $1 million, what's the first thing you'd buy?
Nerf guns.
Oh my gosh, you are in a Nerf gun craze. Nerf
Well,
gun hyper focus over here.
I could buy every Nerf gun with $1 million.
Yeah.
Every Nerf gun twice, I think.
What about storage? We're about to run out of storage in our house now.
We could
Add on with the $1 million, right?
Oh yeah, we could do a big add-on, and then use the rest of the money for Nerf guns.
Oh my gosh.
I would use the rest of the money for Nerf guns.
Next question.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one thing you're looking forward to this week?
Ooh. Does Saturday count?
Sure.
On Saturday I have a rehearsal at my school. It's a costume rehearsal. Very excited for that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really worn my costume yet. I wore it one day for like a couple of minutes.
That really gets you into
try it
character.
on. Yeah, I got to try it on for a couple minutes just to like see if everything fit, and it did. Yeah.
Ooh, that is exciting. That is something to look forward to. What's one thing you did this past week that you're proud of? It's hard for us to think of things we're proud of ourselves for, isn't it? Because we just do stuff and then we move on.
Yeah. I don't really know.
I think you played with your brother really nice when he was learning that game and you guys were playing together.
Yeah.
I think that's something to be proud of. It's hard to be patient with someone who's that much younger than you.
Yeah. 4 years younger than me.
Yeah. What's your favorite video game?
That's a hard one. Probably Roblox.
Yeah?
My favorite, and it probably will always be my favorite.
Favorite subject in school?
Math.
Easy. Favorite sport or activity?
Ooh. Probably pickleball.
Pickleball?
Yeah, pickleball is really fun.
Favorite snack?
Could there be multiple answers?
Just right now, what's your go-to snack?
Anything. Does it have to be that we have in the house?
I don't know. If you could have a snack right now, what would it be?
Trying to think.
I would say you usually go to Tostitos, but that's not right now. You're past that phase. Yeah. All right.
Popsicles.
Popsicles.
I'm a big popsicle fan.
You do like popsicles.
I've been having bomb pops like all winter. Like I just all of a sudden was like, hey, I want bomb pops.
Yeah.
And then I just started craving bomb pops.
Popsicles are good.
Yeah, I think I might have one today.
Okay. So there you have it.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much we can learn when we listen to our ADHD kids
Yes.
in their own words. So I want to encourage listeners and parents, have open conversations with your own kids. And if you're a teacher, with your students, just to find out what their experience is like, what they're struggling with. They're really able to communicate, and I think it gives them the confidence to own their ADHD and make it a positive thing instead of a struggle.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, buddy. Mwah. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.